Maybe this darkness. Okay, we got it.
Might need a little bit more light in here. Are you okay? Can you see well?
I can see fine.
Okay. Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Can you text me when it's gonna be 10?
Oh. Gosh, autocorrect is just. Okay, so we're going to play through all of them. Now, at what tempo can you sync the fingerings without tripping? And I should say, at what subdivision can you think the? So that means, do you know what that means? What are the subdivisions? Eights, triplets, sixteens, and so on. So basically, my question to you is, how many per bow would you feel comfortable playing without tripping?
Probably 8, maybe.
8. Okay. So then we will be doing in 16s. Let's go ahead and start then. So this is a very mental preparation for all this. Actually, playing scales is such a mental thing to be doing. But now you want to have the map of the scale even before you start playing it. You have to know where you're shifting, so you don't have to suddenly find yourself in the wrong part of the fingerboard and having to. It's easy enough to invent different fingerings to get you down, but the whole point of playing this is to create this mental discipline, which then translates into physical discipline in playing. So pick your tempo. The objective is not to trip and to keep the elements of music, which are pitch, rhythm, and tone, at the highest possible level. Stop. Do you need more rosin on your bow because they're blank spots? Was it the bow or is it
I think
you?
it was me. I think I was lifting.
Oh.
I don't
You're
know
lifting? Why are you lifting?
I don't think I meant to.
Yeah, scales are not a good place to be lifting because basically you want to feel the sostenuto of the sound. We're playing this because what is the hardest thing to do well on the violin? Legato. And if the basic tone doesn't sustain through the bow stroke as you're drawing the bow, then we don't have the legato. And so one of the three elements, pitch, tone, and rhythm, is suffering. Yeah. So now, is it possible for it to be a little bit quicker? Because this is kind of really risky slow to do 8 at that particular tempo. It needs to go quicker. But again, if you what can you do if you cannot think that fast?
I could slow it down.
You can do 6 to a bow. Yeah, that's the slowing down. You slow down the subdivision, not the tempo.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
I could try it fast.
Okay. Now, do you need to be looking at the music for this? So please don't. So focus on what you're doing because practicing scales. You've done them a gazillion times and presumably you know your fingerings by now. So just focus on what you're doing. And immediately you go into the minor scale, yeah. And Ella, please use your full bow. Once the bow is on the string and you are playing these legato things, there is no danger of the silver ever hitting the side of the bow there. So just make sure that you use absolutely the full band of the bow, every single millimeter. Maybe not quite the millimeter that's right adjacent to the very tip and the very frog, but you really have to use the entire span of the bow. You just learn yourself to distribute the bow in that way. It's also part of the motion.
So do I do minor or do I do major?
Let's do the major one more time because there was something wrong with that there. But now also, is there a reason to be doing this? So again, get yourself with this, and from the very first note, the thumb and the bow have to feel the 50-50 thing. That's exactly what we want to avoid. And it's not a good thing to start the scale every time from the beginning. You have to have a spot where you can catch yourself, which is not the beginning. As a matter of fact, you have to be able to start the scale on any note. Just as when is your piece memorized properly and you'll feel really secure on stage, when you can start it on any note and not just always going back to your safety spot to begin. So every note has to be a safety spot. Now, since you're going to do the minor one more time, can you make sure that it's absolutely fluid and smooth? Do you hear the accents when you shift and when you string cross? Now, I've made you aware that they're there, those accents. You have to get rid of them. So the whole thing, it has to feel like, it's on wheels or on rails, whatever image you have for something that is moving completely smooth and seamless. That's what needs to happen. Something funky is happening with your fingering. Can you try one more time? Plain tempo though. And Ella, one more thing. You always da 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 da. I'm exaggerating, but you always kind of.
Should I start?
Yeah. So you need to. Part of this whole discipline thing is that you can do it without doing this emergency rubato at the beginning, because it sounds like. So before you put the bow on the string, already think the tempo, feel the taka 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 taka. Sorry, I'm just so sticky. Yeah, so ta 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 pa pa pa. That's what we need to get to. Maybe mine is a little bit too fast. Great. Now can we check on one more thing? So as you go to the G string, your head moves this way. Can you keep your head in a nice kind of supported place? Yeah. And Ella, when we begin, there's still this. Just can you prepare yourself? So again, neutral head, neutral neck. Right, you're supporting from here, so the violin is well balanced, and you bring the bow. So the very first sound you make has to feel like a release. It has to feel free instead of doing one of these things. So see if you can get that. It's very satisfying when you do it right. Yeah, you realize that you're doing that. So see if you can be completely. So check that your neck and head are neutral when you begin. Yes. Yeah, still happening. It's still happening. So now another thing I'm wondering, isn't this a little bit too high for you? Yeah, because it's causing your head to go the other way. No, well, you can do this, yes, or you can slightly lower your shoulders because I kind of have the feeling it's a little bit, yeah, and we need to lower it. Just let's start with one. Now, since the size of the violin for your height and length of arms and all that is absolutely perfect for the moment, you don't need to be swinging out this way. It's yeah. So kind of, if you consider, the center of you want both your arms to work on equal angles. So it's not more this way or more this way. You just center yourself and find. Yeah, that should feel pretty comfortable actually. And so from this, try to keep your head neutral, so you're not either this way nor that way. It's turn and drop. Yes. Yeah. Here, and just bring the bow. Can you bring the bow to, yeah, right. So as you bring the bow, see, you don't have to do anything from this shoulder or, from anywhere else from your torso. Just bring the bow. Whoops, do you see what immediately happened with your head? Did you feel it?
Not really.
No? So the moment you go to the frog, your head goes like this. I still think this is too high for you because it's still causing, yeah. So have we talked about the position of the head? I think we have. So follow my hand. Okay. So with your nose. So it's turn and drop. Yes. So you don't twist it to the side like this. It's always turn and drop. And so bring the bow and try to do it with no extra engagements. Yes. Now from there, just throw. Yes, that's much better. Yeah, did you feel at the end doing this? Okay, shall we try this minor scale one more time? Just try to be completely free, with no need for those ticks that don't really contribute anything to the playing. And you have to handle the violin. So when you shift, instead of letting the scroll fall down for you, you just support it so the bow doesn't have to compensate for all that. It's much easier if you do it. And also when you cross strings from the left hand, you need to do the same thing. Because sometimes when you cross from the left hand, you release completely and your scroll goes down. So keep the scroll in one place. As a matter of fact, since we don't need this, get the fiddle up. And now, can you see? Just point the scroll at look where on the wall it's pointing, and just keep your eyes on that. And now play the scale and don't let the scroll change that pointer. Okay. Understand how many disturbances there are? Because each one that you saw, your bow feels and transfers out as sound in this. So your stupid computer can correct all of that. You will find a way to cradle the violin and move without these disturbances happening. Try one more time. I like your last bow very much. Can all of them be full like that? Be brave with the bow. Much better. Now let's go to A flat major. Do you know your fingerings before you start? Because I don't want you to begin and trip. The objective is you go through the scale without tripping anywhere. So, okay, go ahead and play then. Whoopsie. Now, which position do you shift to in A flat? No, it should be the third position because it's the big scales that shift to fourth position. Everything else goes to third position, yes. So which is your third position? Which note? The G flat, yes. Right. Okay. On the way down, it's one of the exceptions. Four. Yes. Three. 4, 3. 2. Get to the D flat. Shift. 2. Yes. Okay, Ella, this is not good. You have to slow it down. If you cannot think it, producing sounds like this is, maybe in your practicing you can do it yourself. Please don't do it to me. 6 to above. Let's change the tempo. Right. Yeah. Can we do that one more time from the bottom? Full bow with a really good form. And what was that last? Yeah, so you have to shift to. Now this is G sharp minor. What do we remember about the scale? What position do we shift to this time? These are G fingerings.
So it's gonna be
Fourth position, beg, B-E-G fingerings.
Oh, I think so. Oh.
So that's one of those, the circled ones. A flat major and G sharp minor. And what is the other circled place? Where we change the tonics. The names of the tonics, although the pitch is the same. D flat major and C sharp minor. That's the other one. For all the rest of them, we do exactly the same. So, G sharp minor. So, but if you stay like that, it's A flat minor fingerings. Da 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 2 2 3 4. It's the one that is especially written in the book there. Yes. Yeah, and Ella, we're doing 3 to above. 6 to above. So. So that 2-2 is a very signature thing on the G string. Shift? No, you shift after the G sharp. Right. Now let's do the ascent one more time with the correct bowings. the ascent going up.
There's a D.
Yeah, almost. Yes, that. Yes, so it's the 2-2, the thing that you have to do. So this is the most difficult of the scales for intonation, also just mentally to get there. But these fingerings work, and now let me tell you, in Schubert, Quartet Satz, do you know that piece? It's very famous. This is one of the things you need to listen to, and you have to know it. But for the first violin, you have to play that particular scale, I don't know how many times in that piece. And I'm so grateful that my teachers have explained to me how distinct this particular scale is, because these are the only fingerings that actually work well for it in the Schubert. And when we were playing that with the quartet, it was ready technique for it. It was just there. I didn't have to think. I didn't have to blink an eye. Just play. So you need to get to that point with this. Now, A. So you have to know the fingerings.
Switch to
Bella,
You said
you're a smart girl.
confused.
Okay, so B, E, and G fingerings. So the scales that start on those notes. B, that includes B flat also. E includes also E flat. And G, which includes that G sharp scale that you play. They shift to the fourth position.
Oh, I think
Everything else shifts to the third position. So there's no A in the word bag. So you shift to third position.
And then, is it an exceptional finger?
So on the way down, you have to use the fourth finger. So you already played with the A flat major, you played the A fingerings. So if you remember what you did then, it's the same fingerings here. So just G sharp minor thing, it kind of throws a wrench in all of this, but it's again a mental acuity that you need for that. Open on the way up, always open. That's our way of playing scales. Talk a little bit about purifying the technique. I've already mentioned the usage of the full bow. Now, how are your string crossings? What do you think?
I'm kind of focusing on them having connected.
Now, is string crossing a business for the right hand, or is the left hand involved in any way?
The left hand is involved.
How?
Like in a scale, you have to be right on the next string, and you have to.
What about the note that you have just finished on the all string? Do you release it immediately, or?
You have to hold it down.
Okay, you have to do that every time, especially on the way up. On the way down, it doesn't matter much. There's still maybe a little bit of holding. You don't want to lift before the bow has left. But if you're crossing from lower to a higher in pitch string, you must take care of that overlap. So the old finger, if it's a fourth finger, well, actually with the open strings, it's almost great what you're doing, holding the third finger, crossing over to the next string. You need to hold that third finger even longer. So consider holding it down until your first finger is down for the next, okay? And now the one string crossing that is always bad is the one on the A and E strings because it's already in high position. We don't have the benefit of the open string. So that's the one where you have to hold the fourth finger while you're playing.
So do I do this only in scales or do I do it in some pieces?
Oh, you do it always. This is how we cross strings. That's where we practice it. Now, in arpeggios, what do we do? You hold. Yeah. That's it's a principle way of playing. So start thinking in those parameters because just think it's piano playing. By the way, your mom has been, I'm just remembering this about the flying fingers that she was talking about. Well, if you take care of your string crossings, just for one thing, it will encourage your fingers to stay much closer to the finger. So it's an instant solution to that issue as well.
Do I do a major bit?
Well, since you just reviewed these fingerings, let's do it with improved technique.
Major and minor.
Yes. And
So I
here,
went to the string before.
yes, and here the string crossing also coincides with bow change, right? So. So that creates the seamlessness that I was telling you earlier. That's the trick. That was good, Ella. That was
I
good.
didn't do the string crossing.
Oh,
I left it and you could hear my.
okay. Now, on the way down, how were your string crossings on the way down?
I tried doing them, but I don't think they were that good.
No, they were very jerky, and it was because of the left hand. So let's see if you can cover that. And now that the left hand is doing this, do you feel how it also encourages the bow hand to go really smooth from string to string? It's much easier to do it that way.
Do I do major then?
Yes, because I want to hear the descent done right. Well, you want to do the descent right.
Right.
Okay. And is that on an up bow or on a down bow?
That took me a while.
Yeah, you need to know those things because as you practice, practicing on the wrong bow is not good practice. So, and you also don't want to waste the time of playing the whole scale in order to know on what bow you're starting.
Right.
Yeah. So you need to know this and then focus on the things that matter. Oh, are you doing major scale on the way down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Stop for a second before you start. You need to. Which position do we shift to? Yeah, because once you get that shift done, you have more time to think what else is happening in the scale. The string crossing between the A and E strings. That's the one everybody misses. Yes. Yeah.
Do I start over or just
Start it over. 4. So both A and B fingerings are with fourth finger on the way down. Right. Would you like to redo the minor? Okay, let's do that one more time. Four on the way down, 4. Vibrato on the last note, just so we can beautify all of that. Yes, and support again because it starts swaying down. So always think up, up, up. Now let's do B. It's the same fingerings. Obviously, B flat needs work, but we just want to go through them today. So Ella, do you mind starting from the frog? You're that far away from it. So now look. Every bow is a little bit different. The one I'm using has a lot of give at the frog. So for me, it's going to be absolutely impossible to be, right next to the frog. And but I'm aiming for about here. So I'm just about a centimeter from the frog. That's a good place to begin. Don't waste those couple of inches of your bow. Especially because you're using a 3/4 bow, so and with every bow change, bring yourself back to that spot. So adjust the bow speed as you move through it. Did with the first finger. So as soon as your fourth finger is down, you move over to the next string because it makes it much easier to the other strings. And the open D. Whenever possible, we want to use the resonance of the open strings on the way up. Four. Yeah, and even for that, on the last one you don't necessarily need it because you're not playing the A. But this is a very good exercise for the string crossings on the way down because it's so much better when the first finger is down for the higher fingers because they don't have to work too hard. And when you say the hop, that's when the finger moves to the string, but you still keep the fourth finger down. Hop, hop, hop. Yeah, and as you hop, it's not necessarily lift and put. It's kind of because the fourth finger is already compressing the string down, and it's a very easy way to just move it over. Hop, hop, hop. Yeah, so this will create very, very efficient technique. Now, for the full size violin, because you will be battling the same thing I am battling, because in size your hand is not any bigger than mine. giving yourself strength for some of these things, you will always have to have the first finger pressing down the string so the other guys can work lighter on it. So now, can we hear one more time the B minor, 6 to above? Careful with the head also, so check on all those things. So yeah, and maybe slightly higher elbow at the front. That's the idea. Now, next one, C major. We start in third position for that one. So since we are already in third position, we don't shift until the E string. Frog, please.
I'm gonna use both.
Yeah, and now Ella, when the pinky stays down, it's not like the hand remains locked in that and something. There's this element of balancing the hand on the pinky as you move over. So it's not like, do you see the difference? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So there has to be this sense of release as you go there. Now, when I was showing you things with the open string, with the string crossing, do you see I'm actually really releasing the fingers. It gives real freedom in the hands to do that. Now, if I'm playing a fast passage, should I have time to do that? No. But because in the slow tempo I've done those releases so many times, in the fast ones the hand automatically releases with that. And so when you go from, if this has to be the string crossing, there's this special way of just balancing on the pinky that loosens up the lower numbered fingers. That's what you want to get to with the string crossings. Can you play the extra notes? Good job. Good job. Crossings are not good on the way down. What is happening? You're not anticipating. You're not anticipating with the pinky. Yeah, and by converting to fourth bow, then the locations on the bow of all string crossings are different. It's fine if you want to play fourth bow, that's fine. Yeah, but I think you probably need it. Yeah. Because do you see how much brain power it takes to do it right? Can we do it maybe fourth bow? Going up and going down. So. Ella, if you divide 4 by half, what do we get? So you need to play 2 notes in each half of the bow. That will be the easiest way to distribute your bow. the fourth finger. Sustain the tone. Okay, some people have on the last note. Okay, now the next set of scales: D flat major and C sharp minor. Okay, so the fingerings on D, we start from the second finger in third position, right? So everything is going to be just as what you did on C, but you will have a 4/4 extension at the top. Okay? Okay, now, but for the C sharp minor, on what finger do we start the C scales? So it's C sharp minor, not D flat minor, C sharp minor. Do you understand? You have to start your C sharp minor on the first finger, not on the second finger. Right. So as you finish the D flat major, you just move to C sharp minor. Okay. Yes, that's the idea.
Could
Would
I
you-
also, like, when I do the string crossings coming down, could I just put my finger on both strings so it can look better?
Well, if you can do it successfully, yeah, by all means. For me, it never works, but I have much smaller finger pad on my index finger. So, there's certain little intricacies that are characteristic for every hand. And if that's one for yours, more power to you. Okay? All right. So, shall we do that C sharp minor one more time, though? Because they were, I want you to do it with good form. So, on top of, that's a very beautiful necklace. I love freshwater pearls. Yeah, but isn't it getting in the way a little bit?
That's not. I
Okay,
can take it
good.
off if you want me to.
Well, I don't want you to take it off unless it gets in the way. But from my own experience, because again, everybody is different. I can't play with necklaces unless they're just on chain or something really small that the violin is not pushing down into my. Okay, if it's not bothering you, just tip it down. It's very pretty. So.
I don't think I started at the frog.
Yeah. So Ella, we need to kind of clear the mind for this. I want you to associate being at the frog with this and not with this.
Okay.
So can we just take a mental picture? Yes, that's the mental picture you want to have for starting. Go.
Anyways.
So let's just restart that here. So yeah, good. plus on the fingerings, not an A plus on the other stuff, but you will work on it. Yes, so it will get really good. Give yourself a little bit more support. Yes, just like 2 centimeters. I mean 2 centimeters farther from where it was, because now you look balanced. Okay. Yeah. D.
So
So that's easy, because these are the easiest of the fingerings, no exceptions. And we have that easy extension at the top.
okay.
But why are we starting on the first finger? So, yeah, we start on third position. Something happened with the fingerings. You have to have an extension at the top.
I think I messed up on the E string.
Yeah,
I think I played 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4.
yeah. So it's after the second finger that we shift in this. Four, 4. So on the way down, 4, 4. Yes. Hop. Hop. The first finger hopping that I was doing. Okay, great. Now E flat major, we start in first position
Oh. Yeah.
on the D string. Yes. So these are the scales that get give us the chance to really.
So it's gonna shift to 4.
Yes, because it's
But
a
on
big
the E
scale.
string?
Exactly. Yeah. No, on the A string. So all of those shifts, if you shift, happen on the A string. So that's like the DFW of
Okay.
travel on the violin, big hub. Great. Now, do you know where the biggest weakness is, and that make the biggest improvement in the scale? If you fix it?
Down.
The what?
Shifting down.
No, it's your bow speed. It's very inconsistent, and sometimes you use full bows, sometimes you just stop somewhere. And can you try one more time? And just part of your mind has to be on the fluidity and letting your arm move. So you use the full bow. It's hard to focus fully on too many things. That's why you need to know your fingerings. But it just makes a huge difference. Okay, E, same
Also
fingerings. It's exactly the same fingerings. Yes. So see if you can keep improving all of those things we talked about as we move through this. Part of the problem is that you shift after the third finger on the way up on the E string. it's always 1 2 1 2 1 2 in these scales. Open. What was that fingering? You somehow find yourself at the wrong position. It was fine on the way up. So 4 4 4 3 2 1. Yeah, you have to sustain with the bow. Can you do it one more time for sustaining and correct fingering? That's better. Don't forget to treat your string crossings well. Now F. So we start that one in first position as well. Two. So the last shift to the E string is to B flat with the second finger. Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. But Ella, can we get rid of the false accent? Da, 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 da. Now, do you know why everybody is doing that? Da, da, da. Why they accent the A? Because they think that coming down with this finger also means heavier bow, but the string is shorter compared to the F, right? So technically, what should you be doing with the bow for the A if you want the same?
Be like
Slightly less. In terms of pressure, do you understand what I am saying, or you're just accepting it because I'm saying it?
I sort of understand.
Okay, look, when you hold that there, or maybe let's put it down for a second here so you can see. So when you play your F, which is with the finger here, that much of the string from here to here is vibrating. Now, when you play A, only that much of the string vibrates. So that's less mass that you have to put in motion.
Okay.
So you need a slightly less pressure from the bow for that. I mean, it's just infinitesimal. It's tiny, but it's not because a lot of people.
And less pressure than more, because you shouldn't even like. Wouldn't it be harder to? I understand.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I just explained it to myself.
Okay, great. That's what we want to hear. And when you can't explain to yourself, you must ask questions.
Okay.
Because to me it's all very clear. It makes perfect sense. But I don't know how much of it you're getting. So if something doesn't make sense, you must tell me so I can. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty hard.
some remarkable fingering work there, but yeah, you saved yourself on this. You have to fix it. So F sharp is the same fingering. So let's see if you can read correctly in that one. Shift. So that last shift is on the second finger. Yeah, because you need to land in third position. Think coming down to third position. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. And minor. One. Okay. So because you're 3, 2, 1, 3. I mean you're going 4, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. You're not using your first finger in the half positions. That's why your fingering comes off at the end. So 3, 2, 1 now. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yes, that's it. And then we do G in 4 octaves without the extra notes.
Okay.
So
Do I do it
that's still a big scale.
Okay, sorry.
So that's all you need to know. Your hand will figure out the rest with this. So go ahead. No extra notes. So 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Because of the extra shift that you do when you do just one, on the way down they just work out with 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. You have to use the first finger. Yes. You could, yes, if you wish. Right. So, Ella, in their most basic form, this is what the scales need to be, with really good string crossings, with very consistent bow speed. So we use the full bow for that.
So the All-State thing, you have to do all of that in 3 minutes?
Not for the All-State thing, that was for Encore.
Oh. Well, the Encore thing, you have to do
Encore,
that in 3
Encore
minutes.
was, it was the best summer program, the best summer festival. It was 6 weeks long. And when my teachers were, because they started that at the Cleveland Institute, so Angkor existed for like 22, 23 years. And it was fantastic because all of the great soloists who are American and some international that have come of age, they were there. I know all of them because of Angkor, and all of them had to go through this particular routine with the scales. So now you won't be able to do it immediately as fast as Ray Chan did it, but you can just start building. And for to a bow, being able to play to all of them with a really consistent technique is nothing to be ashamed of because they're only four to a bow. But you need to start there because you see how much you have to think about it.
Yeah.
So now, if you catch yourself creating sausages, stop it. And yeah.
And I'm talking my violin up more and smooth bow
and when
and
you
the string
start,
cross.
when you start, don't do this. So start just yeah, the string crossings are a very essential element.
So try to work on that in some of my pieces. I'll like take some parts of it and try to just focus on string crossings.
Yes, because all of the techniques that we develop in the scales, we do that so we can use them in the pieces we play. So it's not like you do it on the scales, but you don't do it
I mean,
on the pieces.
like my Vitali, like the string crossings I have are like more for bow. Like,
are you talking about the Beolage or?
I forgot which part. Or something.
With the Beolage, with the string, da 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 da. So what about it?
So would I do the same thing there?
Well, yeah, you have to prepare.
So
and,
I just have to hold and then just smooth as fast.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's why we actually study those as double stops because it's the same thing. The philosophy is that you have to create a quiet environment for the bow. So there isn't sudden change of the height of the string, but the height and the length are already determined, so the bow can just go back and forth in a very easy way, so the line is uninterrupted with noises. Okay, so just to summarize all of the things, when you play your scales, there's just a limited number of things to pay attention to for each hand. So what are the things that the left hand is doing?
String crossings, intonation, the correct
Yes.
fingerings.
And shifting.
Yes.
Right. So and the correct fingerings,
Yes.
that's we don't even have to
That's
mention
like
that
the
because it's understood. But playing in tune, shifting beautifully to this, and having prepared string
I also
crossings.
need to
Yes.
start shifting without accenting, like with my bow and like. Because sometimes when I shift, I like blast my hand.
Yeah, but that's part of the tone. That's a tone issue in this. Now for the right hand, what do we have?
Smooth bow.
So or
You start
sustained.
with the frog.
Let's call it sustained.
Okay.
Let's use the proper sustained sound.
You have to start with the frog and use.
So you bow distribution. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
part of just a sustained sound. Yes,
Okay.
using the full bow. Then what else? We have two more things to do with the bow. We cross strings, right? And we change bows. So those are the three things. If those three things are satisfied with the bow, then you won't be accenting your shifts.
Okay.
So you see how they take care of everything. It's good to have things simplified down to those things. But as you practice your scales, you have to teach yourself to monitor this. Because it's easy for me. I've done it gazillion times for myself, for every student that comes through the studio. But unless you learn how to monitor yourself on them, it's kind of useless. Okay, so that's how you practice. Now, how about we will do arpeggios after we both get back. So I want you for the time being to focus on this. We will do a rep on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I see you again. Okay? Okay. All right. We're done.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So have fun practicing